Okay, welcome back to our last F1 video for the year. Unless we do some random ones here and there. Oh, and some fun tidbits that we'll talk about later. But don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, comment, and turn on our post notifications. Check out our links in the description for our other social media pages down below. We are now trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of this year. If we hit it, we will be doing a giveaway to 5 people instead of 1. So please subscribe, because we want to give away more prizes than just giving to one person. So, to catch you up on the constructor standings and the driver standings, since this was the last race of the year, get ready, it's a bumpy ride. So, McLaren won the constructor standing. Their ship. So, McLaren got 666. Now, for your suspicious people, it is okay. We can move on from this. Ferrari got 652. Red Bull got 589. Mercedes got 468. Aston Martin got 94. Alpine got 65. Haas got 58. And Red Bull Visa got 46. Williams got 17. And Sauber got 4. So, there you go. Now to the driver standings. As we know, Max won, so he is still in first. Max has 437, Lando has 374, Charles has 356, Oscar has 292, Carlos has 290, George has 245, Hamilton has 223, Checo has 152, Fernando has 70, Pierre has 42, Hulkenberg has 41, Yuki has 30, Stroll has 24, SD Bestie has 23, K-Meg has 16, Alex has 12, DRS has 12, and Ollie has 7, Franco has 5, Zhao has 4, Lawson has 4, and Valtteri, Logan, and Jack all have 0. So, there you go. That is the in total for 2024 season. I guess we'll see if it changes next year. Because, I mean, we are getting people in different areas. So, we'll see how it goes. So, now to our Qatar recap. Or, no, Abu Dhabi recap.
Yes.
We never changed the recap.
That's right. Abu Dhabi is right. So, I was supposed to watch FP1, FP2. I didn't watch FP1 or FP2 because, and then I got up for FP3, and here's what ended up happening. My alarm went off. I rolled over. I turned it on. I flipped my phone back over. And I fell asleep listening to James Hinchcliffe talk. So I was supposed to watch FP3, but I didn't. But I watched Quali. So I watched something.
Insane race.
But
yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with. I missed both FP1, FP2, and FP3. I did put on FP3. I set an alarm and everything, but as his voice is so soothing, and
just
when
puts you to
haven't
sleep
gotten sleep,
sometimes.
They have such calming voices. Even if they are screaming, I'm like, okay, let me go to sleep. And FP1 and FP2, I had a migraine that day, so I just couldn't watch anything, and I just had to cheer from behind the screen. But yes, I did watch Quali, so I'll let her talk now.
Yes. Quali, I can't say that I'm all that surprised. Just where everyone ended up. The only thing, I mean, I wasn't overly shocked, if I'm being honest. I mean, Lewis going out in Q1 is crazy. but we'll get to his drive. Yeah, it was, and then Charles went out in, did he go out in Q? He went out in Q.
I
No,
thought he
he
got
did
a
not. He made it
penalty.
through to Q3. Yeah, I don't know. Just, I wasn't overly shocked by anything really. I kind of expected Lewis not to make it through to Q3 just based on other things. But to see him going out in Q1 was crazy. So, that was interesting, to say the least. But the top 10 for qualifying were Lando on pole, Oscar in second, Carlos in third, Nico Hulkenberg in the Haas in P4, Max P5, Pierre in 6th, George in 7th, Fernando in 8th, Valtteri in 9th, and Checo in 10th. So crazy that Checo actually did something. Yeah. So now we'll talk a little bit about the race. So everyone started on mediums, minus Lewis, who started on hard tires, seeing as he was in 16th place. Going down to turn 1. Now you and I both watched this. So, we're going down to turn 1. Lando gets a great start. Oscars, it could have been better. So
Yeah.
pretty much Oscar gives Max like a little slipstream. Actually, what I should say. So you might be wondering why I said Max and not Nico Hulkenberg. Well, Nico got a 3-place grid penalty, so that put him down to P7 to start, which was unfortunate because I really thought in P4 he could be on for a podium, but
Yeah.
it's me.
Didn't happen.
So that was great. So Max has a slipstream going down to turn 1. Oscar leaves him room. He comes in, and Max does not take a good line, and he takes Oscar out. So now they both spin out. So now, it's still Lando 1. Carlos is in second, and, well, the Haas lost out, so he was in third. It would have been one of the Mercedes, right?
No, it was it was either George or it was an Alpine.
Yeah, again, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't 100% sure. So, I'm gonna go based on this. I'm gonna say it was Pierre in third, and then George in fourth, because they had their little battle thing, remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Here, if I read further down in the notes, I'll know. So that happens, they yellow flag it, but no safety car, so everyone keeps going. But then, later on, Checo spins, and he loses the car. So then he's out, and virtual safety car, right? So that's great. So in that time, Charles made up 8 places. No, that's a lie. He made up 11, and he made it all the way up to 8th from P19. So then Franco got a puncture, so he pitted. And then Oscar also pitted because of the damage, and he put on hard tires. So then, a couple laps later, you and me were talking, and we were like, surely Max is getting a penalty for this, right?
Yeah.
He gets a 10-second penalty. And I was like, whoa, I didn't think that they were going to start with a 10-second penalty right off the bat, knowing how he
That was
raced earlier
honestly
in the year and did not get a penalty for that, but, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Making up for lost time, I guess.
Yeah. So he got that 10-second penalty, and then the stewards were also referred Valtteri Bottas to have a 10-second penalty as well because he caused the collision with Checo. So that's why he got his 10-second penalty. And then he pitted, and Leclerc got past K-Mag, so he was up to 7th. And then he kept passing people, so blah, 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 blah. But in the meantime, Oscar kind of ran into the back of Franco and got more damage, and then that pretty much took him out because then he got himself a 10-second penalty. So that was great. And then Zhou Guanyu got a 5-second penalty because apparently he jumped the start. I don't really know. I didn't really see the replay for that.
Did they even show a replay for that? Like, they were just like, he gets a 5-second penalty. I was like, okay.
Honestly,
Out of nowhere.
I have no idea. And then Visa, RB Visa, let Liam drive unsafely with a loose wheel because they didn't correctly bolt on his one tire. So then he got a penalty for that, or is going to get a fine or something, I don't know. And so then that kind of started everyone like pitting, coming in for a new set of hards. Everyone was saying this was one stop, but I think majority of the cars went for 2. And then at one point Franco had to pit to retire the car because it was just not in great shape. Knowing he was running on lower specs and everything, he was just kind of like there, you know?
It was, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised he went that long in the car, to be honest.
Well, it is his last race, so.
Yeah. Which I felt bad for him too, because like it's his first time at F1, and he's just had a rough couple races, and I know this is what he wanted to do, but having to retire early kind of sucks for him. But it's also the fact that the car went that long, and then they were like, "Let's go," but you gotta pit, which sucks because like he probably thought he was gonna get to finish the race.
And then Valtteri and K-Mag collided. So K-Mag was making the overtake on the outside, and he left him room, but Valtteri locked up, I'm pretty sure. And so he went into the back corner of K-Mag, and that kind of took them both completely out. So that was great. But what Haas ended up doing, which I think was very nice of them, they actually put K-Mag on softs and let him go for fastest lap, which he ended up getting.
Which he got it. Yeah.
That was good. And then eventually Oscar served his 10-second penalty and he rejoined and whatnot. So you know how I said Lewis started on hards? Well, he made it to lap 35 before he put on medium tires. So he put on the medium tires and he rejoined. And then he ended up, so at that point when he rejoined, he was in 7th. He made it all the way up to 4th, which is awesome for him. Good drive for him. I wish he could have caught up to the Ferraris, but that's just me. Thankfully, Oscar did end up coming through and being able to make some overtakes and get up to people. But yeah, that's kind of. And then, like, on the second to last lap, Liam had problems with his car, so he pulled off and was kind of just sitting there on the side of the road waiting for the race to be over. And then on the final lap, Lewis actually passed George on the outside of a corner. So, yeah, so the final positions of the grid for this Grand Prix. Before we get to the too in-depth stuff, just have a couple little statistics here to make everyone aware of. So, Williams has 17 points, right? Well,
Yes.
Did Franco crash today?
Yes, technically. Well, he didn't crash, but he got a tapped. Does that count as a crash?
If you count
But he
it as a
DNF'd.
crash. If you count it as a crash, they have 17 crashes. So for every point, they have a crash. Let's just put it that way. If you don't count it, it's 16 crashes, but, 1 for 1 is pretty good. I'll take that.
Did something
And
just fall?
then, I don't know what just happened. I don't care. Zach and Kenzie are messing around and stuff.
Okay.
Nico Hulkenberg holds the record for the most F1 career starts without a podium finish. 227 starts. And you know, I was really, really hoping that he was going to get the podium today. Because, you know, I thought he was starting P4.
So was I.
And then he got handed that stinking penalty. Got handed that penalty and started P7, and I was like, oh, there goes the podium. It's going.
Started.
But, yeah. And Pierre Gasly becomes the first and only F1 driver to end a season without any financial damages to his car, which that is crazy within itself.
He had an accident earlier this year.
No, he did not.
Maybe I'm confusing him with someone else.
Yeah, he didn't cause his team any damage.
Oh,
the only driver ever to do that.
He's so con.
So, Max Verstappen has made the news this weekend for multiple things. Most notable being
his beef.
Well, that was my second answer.
Okay. All his penalties.
That was my third answer.
Oh, the baby.
Yes, there you go. There you go. Yes, him and his partner Kelly announced she's pregnant. So,
the next Max Verstappen.
Verstappen PK coming 2025. So, bro got penalty points again on his license. So he's up to 8 for a total of 12 months. So he was joking around and he said, you know what? Maybe I'll just purposely get the 4 so that way when the baby comes, I can go on paternity leave.
Honestly, not a bad play. If that is. Anyway, how he's
then
going.
you kind of like...
I mean, he's smart.
But you could also like hurt yourself doing that, so...
Yeah.
It's not advised, let's put it that way. And then Lewis ends his career with Mercedes with 246 races. And Valtteri ends his career with 246 total GPs. So that can't be a coincidence, right?
I'm so sad. I'm gonna miss Bottas and his side quest. But also, like, I'm not as big a Lewis fan as some other people, but I still like him. But like, I physically can't see him as a Ferrari driver. I only see him as a Mercedes driver. And I know I shouldn't do that, but like, he's so iconic for his Mercedes role, if that makes sense. So, if anyone feels the same way I do, thank you.
No, yeah, I get that. That's kind of how I feel. But now, the moment you've all been waiting for. So you know how a couple videos ago, I said Julie got a shirt for my birthday. You might be wondering why I'm like sitting really weird and I keep adjusting this blanket. Well, the moment has come.
I was wondering why you were using the blanket.
Well, I said I'd show you guys once McLaren had a good weekend what the shirt was. So, without further ado, you guys aren't ready for this. So, since McLaren won, I thought it was a perfect time to bring out the shirt. And I'm really happy, I'm really excited. Lando got pole, Lando won. Too bad he couldn't get fast lap to get the triple crown thing, but that is what it is. Yeah. So, McLaren secure the Constructors' Trophy from Ferrari. Lando becomes the first McLaren driver to finish in the top 2 since Jenson Button in 2011. He is the 4th ever McLaren driver to get 8 or more poles in a single season. He joins Mika Hakkinen, Ayrton Senna, and James Hunt. So he's the 4th. That totally cannot be a coincidence because his number is 4. And he's the 4th McLaren driver to do this. And then, officially, Oscar has completed every single lap of the season this season. So I feel like we're just like breaking records everywhere here. He joins Michael Schumacher, Lewis, and Max as the only drivers to complete every single lap in a season. And then the final little statistic here, well, not really the final, but like kind of the final. Lando and Oscar are the youngest driver lineup to win the World Constructors' Championship. They have an average of 24 years and 135.5 days between the two. I feel blessed because I am younger than that average. That's all I'm
I
gonna
am
say.
too.
I feel blessed that I am younger than that. And then the last thing I want to leave you with before we go on to our podium predictions, because we got to review our podium predictions from last week.
Oh my God.
So, the last 6 Abu Dhabi winners have gone on to win the Drivers' Championship the following year. So, all I'm hearing is Lando drivers win next year. Lando 2025, sorry year. Gonna get another one. I can feel it. Okay. So, with that being said,
Now to podium predictions. I got one person in its correct spot. Everything else, if you saw our last F1 video, I did bad. But honestly, I'm glad I didn't say Lando because I felt like I had jinxed my. I don't believe in jinxing, but like the last time I said Lando was gonna win, he did not win. So I said Max, George, Charles, and Lando in 4th. I got Charles right. I didn't get Lando right, but I still had him in my 4 lineup, so I'll take it. You can cut Max and George out.
yeah, I kind of did the same thing, I'm not gonna lie. Except I had George, and then Max, and then I had Carlos. And I think I did say, I don't know, I said someone for 4th, but I don't really remember who I said. I just said I need Lando above Charles. So, I mean, I got that. You count that. But, yeah, Carlos in 3, I got that. But Julie actually got the right placement, so... Anyway, I didn't do too hot either.
It's okay. Next year. So, we can't give you a podium prediction because there's no more podium for the rest of the year. But please tell us what your podium predictions were. If you didn't comment in the last video, tell us today because we would like to know. Just to see if you guys were close or not, because this was a good race. Again, so we will be doing a video to recap the entire F1 season. So turn on our post notifications to see when we post that. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you think that next year we'll have Lando winning the Drivers' Championship or if you think someone else is going to win it. So comment your favorite moments from this season because we'll add it into the video that we're planning to do. Check out the links in the description for our other social media pages down below. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And if you would like us to look into other social media pages since this is the ending of the year, let us know because we're going to lose probably TikTok. So, and we're now trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of this year. So if we hit that, we will be giving away 5 gifts instead of 1. So please subscribe. And thank you for watching our last actual F1 video. But please keep a lookout for more.
Yes. Bye.